Hello, I'm Yalda Hakim. Welcome to the Daily Global, where we'll bring you the top stories from around the world. We begin with the major security crisis unfolding in West Africa. Within the last hour, it's been confirmed that several planes are in the air en route to Niger to evacuate French and other European citizens. It follows last week's military coup and a worsening security situation on the ground. The US, Spain and Italy are also arranging rescue flights. The UK has told British nationals in Niger to register their location and stay indoors. On Sunday, the regional bloc, ECOWAS, issued an ultimatum to the coup leaders: restore democracy within 7 days or face what it called all necessary means. Well, Niger is part of Africa's Sahel region, which stretches from the Atlantic to the Red Sea. Overnight, Burkina Faso, Mali and Guinea issued a joint statement saying any military intervention in Niger would be regarded as a declaration of war on them. France says it has no plans to withdraw around 1,000 of its soldiers based in Niger, where they are part of an international effort to fight Islamist militants. Well, Aissatou Kane is the Nigerian ambassador to Paris and the UK. She's been in contact with President Bazoum in Niger, and just before we came on air, she told me how he was doing. Have a listen.
The president of Niger, effectively, we have a daily call, and he's still sequestered, and but he is well, and his moral is high, as well as his family's moral.
Does he think there will be a solution, and does he know when he'll be freed?
No, he don't talk with us on these terms. But as you know, the Prime Minister of Niger is here in Paris. With him, we exchange on the prevailing situation in Niger, which is most worrying.
And what is the Prime Minister saying?
Our exchange is about the Niger situation. We think together that this unfortunate event for our country cannot be caused by any internal crisis. On all fronts, we are on a good trajectory, particularly on the security front, where major efforts are being made to contain terrorism.
Who do you currently represent? Do you still believe that your government will return to power?
Yes, I believe. That the President Bazoum will be reestablished on his seat, and I believe that our democratic institutions will be settled again.
How will that happen? Because, of course, the coup leaders say that France is going to attempt some kind of, or plotting some kind of military intervention. Do you know if that is likely to happen?
I know one thing. One thing is the ECOWAS communique. The ECOWAS communique says that we have a several sanction will be settled, and if this don't success, we can have an intervention. The only thing I know is that.
But
no
this ultimatum that ECOWAS has given, that there needs to be some kind of resolution to this within 7 days, do you believe that they will take some kind of action if the coup leaders don't reinstate President Bazoum?
We hope that the ongoing negotiations can lead to a peaceful solution. Because it is best issue for our country.
How do you interpret what Mali and Burkina Faso are saying? They're saying if ECOWAS intervenes in any way in the situation in Niger, it is also a declaration of war on them.
I tell you one thing. If you know Niger and the border of Niger, you can see that we have border with Burkina Faso, we have border with Mali. All the two borders are the borders when in the territory of Mali and Burkina. There is no border in Niger without terrorists. In Niger, we don't have this situation, but our border with these two countries is full, are full with terrorism. Terrorists are active, very, very active in this zone.
It is a very tense and dangerous and very fragile situation right now. What do you think will happen next?
I think, I hope that we rapidly have an issue and good issue, because negotiation is going on. We have the ultimate of ECOWAS, which is going on also. So the most and best solution is that this good negotiation can put our President Bazoum on his seat again and reestablish democratic order in our country. It's our hope, is our.
That was Niger's ambassador to France, Ambassador Kane, speaking to me a little earlier. Well, on a day of fast-moving developments in West Africa, let's get some analysis from the former US ambassador to Chad, Mark Bolwer. Ambassador, thank you very much for joining us here on the program. It is an incredibly tense and dangerous situation right now. I mean, you were US ambassador to Chad. You know the region well. Just give us your assessment of this developing situation.
Well, it is a tense and dangerous situation. And as time goes on, of course, the coup leaders, the junta, consolidates its power. In the beginning, it was just the Presidential Guard who took this action, and the military was apparently not completely on board with it, but over time they decided to join in and reinforce the junta. So now the military seems to be united around the coup, making it very difficult to reverse. Hopefully, the intervention of President Deby and his mediation on behalf of ECOWAS will bear fruit. I think that's the only way to get a positive outcome at this point.
Do you think that the president of Chad intervening, as you say, President Deby, who was there in the last 24 hours, will make some kind of difference?
I think it's very possible. Chad is certainly a regional power, a very strong country with a great deal of influence in the region. It's one military man, after all, speaking to other military men. Hopefully, he will be able to dig in, see what they're really after. If it's something other than just power for power's sake, there may be a way to look at whatever grievances they may have and deal with those in such a way as to put President Bazoum back in power. It would be very difficult, though. It's a tight window, and the window is closing, I think.
I mean, how do you view this threat that's been made by ECOWAS, that this ultimatum, reverse this, do something differently within the next 7 days, or else force? I mean, they sort of watched Mali, Burkina Faso, Guinea sort of succumb to these types of coups, and nothing was done. No,
certainly. I think ECOWAS is is a bit fed up with this succession of coups and is attempting to assert its authority on behalf of democracy and the principle of democracy. But it's very difficult to do. When you have, as I say, united military that's there, the distances are enormous for military intervention, very expensive. It's a poor part of the world, tough to pull off. But they're certainly communicating their seriousness, and hopefully that seriousness and their position will help President Deby as he tries to negotiate some sort of peaceful outcome for this.
Yeah, and what would that peaceful outcome look like to please these coup leaders and, I suppose, fulfill the requirements of the West, ECOWAS, and as well as President Bazoum?
Well, it's hard to say. Every situation is unique, but restoring the president is pretty much the non-negotiable part of it. He needs to be put back in power as president. But within that, certainly you can look at changes to the military structure, if that's the question. Changes and benefits for the military, giving them a greater policy role, all sorts of things might be possible. But again, you have to get into the negotiation and get into the details and see what's in the realm of the possible.
Yeah, to sort of see what these military leaders want, because right now there isn't much clarity on that. They're accusing President Bazoum of certain things, that their frustration with the security situation. They're accusing him of things like corruption, for example, and the close ties to the West. But exactly what is it that these military leaders want?
Well, we don't really know right now. As I say, if it's just power for power's sake, then it'll be very difficult to reverse. But if they have some grievances that they're willing to articulate that are of more of a policy nature, then that can be dealt with.
Ambassador Boulware, thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome. Pleasure.